morning, everyone. It's 10 o'clock in the Mountain West, and time for the World News Roundup. Presented this morning by Blue Cross and Blue Shield, the only prepaid health care plan sponsored by the hospitals and doctors of Utah. This is Rex Campbell reporting. First, the news in brief. The venerable leader of the LDS Church claims that increase in juvenile delinquency is due to letdown in home ideas. Soviet-built MiG jets shoot down 2 U.S. jets in first aerial dogfight of the Vietnamese War. Imperial wizard Robert Shelton, he who leads the Ku Klux Klan, calls President Johnson a conniving, misgiven fool. Sally Rand celebrates 61st birthday by doing the same dance with the same measurements. And E. William Henry, chairman of the FCC, is optimistic about the future quality of TV programming. The weather for Salt Lake City and vicinity becoming mostly cloudy today, showers this afternoon and evening, decreasing clouds later tonight, becoming fair Monday. Moderate to strong canyon winds likely at times today and tonight, cooler today and warmer Monday. High today near 55, Monday near 60, low tonight in the mid-30s. Present temperature downtown Salt Lake City, 55 degrees. I'll be back in just a few seconds with details in this morning's interesting news. Making use of Blue Cross Blue Shield news time, 3 minutes past 10 o'clock. President David McKay told the 135th General Conference of the LDS Church this morning that the increase in child delinquency is largely due to a letdown in home ideals. In a speech delivered by his son, Robert McKay, the church leader said in these words, "We must not close our eyes to the fact that the number of delinquents and youthful criminals is ominously increasing." The 91-year-old leader of the LDS Church was present in the historic tabernacle while his talk was read. The speech said, "Among the glaring evils of our day are two which seem to be most detrimental. First, an increasing tendency to dishonor the marriage vow, and second, the mounting juvenile delinquency." The conference will continue through Tuesday, April 6th. It was on April 6th in the year 1830 in Fayette, New York, that the Mormon Church was formally organized. The annual sessions of conference have been held in the Salt Lake Tabernacle since 1867. Television and radio broadcasts will bring the general sessions from Temple Square to countries all over the world. Some 200 television stations will carry part of the proceedings, and over 30 radio stations will broadcast the conference in the United States, Mexico, South America, Caribbean, Africa, and Europe. Music will be performed by the 375-voice Mormon Tabernacle Choir. The second general session will be held at 2 p.m. today. 2 general sessions will be held both Monday and Tuesday at 10 and 2. These sessions will be broadcast over KSL radio. Assisting President McKay in directing the conference will be Councilors Q.B. Brown and N. Eldon Tanner. Soviet-built MiG jets shot down 2 U.S. supersonic jets today in the first aerial dogfight of the Vietnamese War. Air Force General Joseph Moore said 3 waves of MiG-15 and 17 jet fighters attacked American F-105 Thunder jets, bombing the Tan Hoa Bridge in North Vietnam. Radio Peking claimed that 19 American jets were down in bombing raids today. Moore said the MiGs bore markings of the North Vietnamese Air Force and probably used ordinary cannon fire to down the U.S. jets. The American pilot in the downed plane ejected himself into the sea before his jet hit the water, but had drowned by the time crews got to him. The other plane also crashed into the sea. A search is still on for the pilot or the wreckage. A U.S. military spokesman said other U.S. planes also were shot down today, but refused to give any further details. Moore said the 3 waves of MiGs attacked the U.S. planes about midway through the bombing attack. Moore said the U.S. planes were circling while awaiting their turn to bomb when the first wave of MiGs attacked. The 2 downed U.S. planes were hit in the first attack. The American jets immediately swung on the attacking planes, and they fled in the haze. Here at home, both Alabama Governor George Wallace, Negro leader Roy Wilkins, spoke to a Vanderbilt University forum in Nashville, Tennessee. Each man took sharply different views of the United States racial scene. The 2 men were in the hall at the same time, but didn't meet face to face. Wallace denounced the national news media, Alabama critics, and the Supreme Court. Without making direct reference to the economic boycott of Alabama called for by Martin Luther King, the governor said only a person completely un-American, a fiend, would advocate some of the steps proposed against Alabama. Wilkins said that as far as Negroes were concerned, Democratic government in many cases has failed to discharge its duties. He said Wallace was personally not a racist, but part of the system Negroes object to. He said King was a radical and that he wants to make democracy work. But Wilkins warned that an economic boycott is a two-edged sword that must be wielded with great care. Imperial Wizard Robert Shelton of the Ku Klux Klan spoke to a Klan meeting last night in Hemingway, South Carolina. The meeting, which attracted some 50 robed Klansmen, hundreds of onlookers, and police, failed to live up to its billing of a major Klan meeting. He said President Johnson is a conniving, misgiven fool if he thinks he can break up the Klan. Shelton also repeated his charge that Mr. Johnson is a liar for blaming violence in Alabama on the Klan. Shelton said Mrs. Viola Liuzzo, the Detroit mother murdered after the Selma to Montgomery march, should have stayed home and tended to her children. The Liuzzo home in Detroit last night was one of 4 targets for planters of burning crosses, symbol of that Klan. Another was burned at the home of the first Negro to move into an integrated neighborhood. U.S. Attorney General Nicholas Katzenbach says one good way to stem the activities of the Klan is through broadened federal jurisdiction over civil rights crimes. Katzenbach said yesterday that he didn't favor giving the Klan the same treatment as that given by the United States toward the Communist Party. He said the Justice Department would present legislation within 2 weeks for controlling the hooded organization. In other news this morning, Blue Cross Blue Shield news, and incidentally the time is now 8 minutes past 10 o'clock. The first U.S. nuclear power plant to be rocketed into orbit continues to make the trip about the Earth every 112 minutes. SNAP, expected to have an orbital life of 3,000 years, but its nuclear reactor will function for only 1. The nuclear reactor was turned on last night by a radio signal from Earth. It took SNAP's reactor about 6.5 hours to achieve a self-sustaining nuclear chain reaction. President of the American Medical Association, Dr. Donovan Ward, says the American public favors the AMA's elder care by a wide margin over President Johnson's Medicare. Ward said the preference for elder care was demonstrated in a nationwide survey conducted for the American Medical Association. 5 people were killed. A 10-year-old boy critically injured last night in a head-on automobile collision at Lima, Ohio, midway between Dayton and Toledo. Crash took place on Interstate Highway 75. 49-year-old Fred Howell apparently took the wrong access ramp onto the highway. Howell died in the crash. 4 members of the Donald Forer family died in the other car. Her son Kenny was critically hurt. 8-year-old Sophia Ann Martineau of Santa Clara, Utah, died yesterday near her home when she ran in front of a car on U.S. Highway 91. Was the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Levin Martineau. The car that struck her was driven by 20-year-old David Peets of Colton, California. 16-year-old boy drowned in a lake north of Coeur d'Alene yesterday. He was William Hilbert, son of Master Sergeant Robert Hilbert. The youth was diving in the lake with 2 companions when he disappeared. Blue Cross Blue Shield news time 10 minutes past 10 o'clock. Back with more news in a moment.
A family can only live within a budget, not without it. Whatever we do or don't do, whatever we have or don't have, is always dependent on how much money we have to work with. So an unexpected drain in those funds can change a family's plans. And if the drain is big enough, it can even change a family's whole future. This is one of the basic reasons why every family must have a form of prepaid health care coverage, because you never know when accident or illness will strike, and there's no way to estimate the extent of the cost. This is the very reason why Blue Cross and Blue Shield provide your family with the best financial protection, because only Blue Cross and Blue Shield cover you, not according to an amount of money, but according to the service you need. For complete information on how you can give your family this realistic protection, send your name and address to Blue Cross and Blue Shield in care of this station. Write today. If you do not have Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you should.
Blue Cross Blue Shield news time 11 minutes past 10 o'clock. E. William Henry, chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, predicts that growing competition will cause some improvement of quality in television programming. He also looks forward, hopefully, to a time when broadcasters will be content, as he puts it, with making a living out of television instead of a killing. Henry forecasts are coupled with a frank acknowledgement that TV programming has shown little overall improvement during the 4 years since his predecessor as FCEC Chairman Newton Minow referred to it as a vast wasteland. There have been some changes for the better, some for the worse, Henry said in an interview, but no one should be surprised or discouraged that progress is slow. Deserts are not made to bloom overnight. 2 new $7 million buildings were dedicated yesterday at BYU in Provo. They are the Harris Fine Arts Center and the Wilkinson Student Activity Center. The Fine Arts Building, named for the late Franklin S. Harris, who was BYU president for 24 years, is built on 5 levels. The Activities Building, 7 levels, was named in honor of the present BYU president, Dr. Ernest Wilkinson. The new buildings bring to 100 the number of permanent structures on the Provo campus. 80 of them were built during the administration of Dr. Wilkinson. Sally Rand, who set Chicago on fire with her fan dancing 32 years ago, was doing the same dance yesterday on her 61st birthday. "I never stopped working. I probably won't for many years," she said. "Why retire? I love dancing. I'm healthy. My figure's the same, 35, 25, 35, and I still weigh 113 pounds. Sally soon will wind up an appearance at a supper club in Chicago, then heads for San Francisco, said she, "But I may take time out to write a book. A publisher is after. I guess I have quite a story to tell." The weather for this area, becoming mostly cloudy today with showers this afternoon and evening, decreasing clouds later tonight, becoming fair Monday, moderate to strong canyon winds likely at times today and tonight, cooler today, warmer Monday. Skiing conditions are excellent, and all lifts and tows are operating. Forecast for ski areas shows intermittent snow today and tonight. High today will be 30 degrees, 35 degrees tomorrow. Winds today will be light and variable. Alta reports 160 inches of snow, Brighton 137, Snow Basin 100, Park City 110 inches. And that's the weather and the news, presented this morning by Blue Cross and Blue Shield, the only prepaid health care plan sponsored by the hospitals and doctors of Utah. This is Rex Campbell reporting.
KSL Radio, Salt Lake City. Have you ever had the experience of seeing the Hill Cumorah pageants? Have you had the excitement of going through the Book of Mormon lands? Have you enjoyed the sublime experience of seeing the Holy Land? Or have you ever had the inspirational thrill of a visit to the LDS temples of the Pacific or Europe? If you've done none of these things, a whole new world of wonderful travel awaits you. Murdoch Travels suggests that you plan on joining one of their carefully planned, personally escorted tours. You might try Murdoch Travels' Pageant and World's Fair Tour in July, the Holy Land Tour in October, or the Book of Mormon Lands Tour next winter. You may prefer to organize your own family genealogical organization, special interest group, scout troop, or private study group, and travel to any of these places at a time of your own choosing. If this is so, Murdoch Travel will show you their new, inexperienced group travel outline and plan all of your travel and accommodations for you at low group rates. Murdoch Travel, 14 South Main, Salt Lake City, or call 328-3161, 328-3161.
Science Editor, Tampering with Heredity, Rescuing Bone Marrow, and Medical Views on Acne. Those are topics of today in the world of scientific research and technology. The University of California, in cooperation with CBS.